Street Fighter Let's Play. Then we have Sailor Moon. That'll be going on at 11:55. And then we have the game show. We had a cancellation with My Little Pony canceled. But we're going to do something really kind of cool. We're going to play Fanime Feud. And it's going to be just like Family Feud, but it's going to have an anime spin on it. We got some special guests for that, and there will be prizes. So you want to check that out. That'll be at 1 o'clock. And then we have Dragon Ball Z, all right? And also, you guys know you can check out our main exhibit floor. There's a lot going on there. We have Celebrity Rows, so you can meet your favorite anime and voice actors there, as well as get your photos taken with them. And we also have the Anime Entertainment Zone, which has crafting and cosplay demos. You can, there's a lot of exhibits there you can check out, a lot of good information, and you can check out our vendors that are selling all kinds of anime-related merchandise. So take some time today, visit them on the exhibit floor. All right, I am your announcer, Scott, and I'll be back out here in just a couple minutes with the start of Street Fighter Let's Play. Welcome to Planet Anime Sunday. All right, Planet people, you guys ready for some Street Fighter Let's Play? All right, well, let's bring out our host, fighting game community leader, Robbie V.
Hello. My name is Robbie V. I'm the leader of the Kansas City fighting game community right here in KC, the 816. I've been at this kind of helm for a little over a decade, and what we do in the fighting game community here in Kansas City is we organize local events, Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, all the way down the line. So a lot of great interaction between fighting game players and anime and interest in all of that. So today we're going to be talking to some of my two favorite Street Fighter characters, voice actor for Ryu and for Luke. And we're going to have them do a little exhibition match, and then we'll take some questions from the audience and have a good time. So thanks for coming out to Planet Anime this weekend, and excited to run the interview. So this is the part where I'm, I guess, waiting for the people to come out. I didn't know there's a show. I got Kyle Hebert, voice actor for Ryu, Adult Gohan, I want to know him. And I guess you gentlemen will be one right here on this couch, and the other one over here. Okay. And Aleks Lee, voice actor for Luke. So I guess what we're going to do here is I'll ask a couple questions kind of about, Street Fighter, kind of the whole voice acting thing and how it all kind of ties together. And then we're going to do a quick match right now between you guys, and then we'll come back to the questions, and we'll take some... Oh, do you have mic on?
Hello, hello, hello.
There it is.
Let's do a quick personal intro, Kyle. Can you tell
absolutely.
us who you are and what you do?
I'm Kyle. My last name is actually pronounced Hebert. It looks like Herbert, though.
Oh.
But anyway, that's okay.
Sorry.
Everyone screws it up. So I just go, yes, that's me. So I've been doing voices for anime and games for like 23 years. And Ryu, I started doing the voice in Street Fighter 4 back in 2008. So I've had the pleasure and honor of getting to voice him through multiple franchises, actually, including Power Rangers and, Smash Brothers, and even in Wreck-It Ralph for 10 seconds. So I was like, yay, I didn't have to be a movie star to be in a Disney movie. So winning. And I'm a terrible gamer. If anyone who's watched my Twitch streams knows, it's like I've got that dad vibe going on, so I just like button mash. So I'd like to congratulate Aleks Lee on winning today's matches already, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. I'm pretty bad myself, so we'll see.
All right, so this is opposite day. Who will lose first?
Hi, everybody. My name is Aleks Lee. I voice Luke in Street Fighter 6 and 5. So I have not been doing voice acting for as long as you have.
I'm probably done it as long as you've been alive.
That's probably true. But my introduction to the Street Fighter series was actually when I was like 7 or 8. I was at an arcade and there were these cabinets and they had Street Fighter 2 on them. And I sucked. I sucked so hard. I never won a single match, but I played it a lot. Eventually, I was like, the fighting games maybe are not for me. And then years later, I moved to Los Angeles and I got an audition for a particular character known as Character 004. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw the description. I was like, oh, this is Street Fighter, but who the heck is this guy? And I've been working on the project for about 5 years now, and it took like 4-ish years for it to come out. So it's been a long time, but I'm happy we were finally here to see him on screen with his skin and flesh.
And on the box art, too.
And on the box art. Sorry to steal your thunder there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a quick match between Aleks and Kyle. We've got some controllers here on stage, and we'll come back to do some questions, and then we'll open it up to the audience. So let's get ready for some Street Fighter 6.
You got some commentary going on for us?
I will, I'll provide some live commentary here.
Thank you.
Is this wireless as well? Or?
That guy sounds
A
familiar.
little bit more room. It might be wireless. You might be able to unplug. Should be able to.
Am I Daniel? Am I Kara?
So
Or user 1? Which
you'll
one?
be David. You'll be the Spider-Man
I'm
avatar.
gonna be David.
I
But
think so.
He's already logged in.
And then Kyle, is yours turned on?
No, I think I gotta be a different person.
There we go. All right, so. Well, hold on. Let's see. Let me make sure you're in here, all right.
Riveting Street Fighter
We might be in
gameplay.
training. We might be in training mode right now.
Excellent.
Let me.
I'll figure this out. There we
Oh,
go.
there we go.
There we go.
Now we got 2 players on stage.
What map do you want, Kyle? Do you
The
want,
one with places in it.
Metrocity Downtown? Do you want
Metrocity.
Do you want Thunderfoot Settlement? Bathurst Beach? Rangar's Hut? What do you like?
I think Ryu's stage is Genbu Temple.
Okay.
I was going to say, do something very zen-like.
So have you played any of this game at all, Kyle?
I play it. I just play it terribly.
I see.
I'm a button master.
All right. I'm gonna put my assist mode on here.
All right, we've got Aleks on Luke, Kyle on Ryu. Street Fighter 6 action here at Planet Anime.
The answer lies in the heart of joysticks.
See, as somebody who has put in like 10 billion hours in Street Fighter, hearing you say that in real life is awesome. All right, let's get to it here. Both these characters have projectiles. Luke with the Sandblast, Ryu with the Hadouken.
The fight's now underway.
Early jumping in here by Kyle, looking for a big jumping over that Sandblast. Nobody home. Nice DP by Luke.
They read their opponent like a
That is the uppercut. I'm not sure you can buy Ryu straight back into it. That red and black attack right there. The drive impact absorbing there. Kyle breaking through the other side with another big short. You can back-to-back DP action close to the wall. Ryu's going to find his way out here. A big Judan kick by Ryu, but a throw from Luke keeps him pinned down. In burnout is Luke. That's the black and white right there. Unable to do that DI back. A big strong headbutt right there. And a DI through the DP. It's back and back all the way, gonna empty the clip with the level 1 super by Luke. Over the top of the DI by Ryu. Lands a mark with a short. You can follow up close here. 20 seconds to play. Down to the wire, both in burnout. Luke out of the green. Able to use that EX bar. Next hit wins, and Luke is gonna take round number 1.
That was really good, though. That was really good. That was really, really good.
All right, both players here with 1 bar of super. We already saw Luke let it rip. A big DI to start things off from Ryu. DI, who's got it? And it's Ryu in the slowdown here. Another one with the wall splat, trying to go for more damage, but a good counter throw from Luke there to break up the DI. Back to mid-screen here. Can't DI back when you're in burnout, so this is free damage for Luke. Ooh, we got the perfect combos on deck. Jab, jab into level 3. The Metsu Shoryuken, big damage coming in for Luke here. What's his response on Wake Up? 2 bars of drive gauge. That's the little orange bars under there. Down to the wire here. Ooh, beast mode, baby. Will it be enough? And Aleks will take the game.
That's still very good. That was very good.
Player 1 is a force to be reckoned with.
All right, all right. That was a warm-up match. Warm-up. Yeah.
What do you guys want to see? You want to see another match? Another match? Luke versus Ryu? Okay.
It's not over yet.
All right, let's get to it here. What adjustments will we see from Ryu here? The master of Shotokan Karate.
Oh, missed. The drive impact whip. Are they ready to punish? Getting careless and missing a drive impact like that.
Judon
will leave
kick
you
on the way
wondering.
in. Nice little throw right there. So we call that a punish. So when a move can't recover in time and you can't get back to block, that's a punish in fighting game terminology. Little back throw to mid-screen here. Both players trying to figure out the neutral, trying to figure out what the other guys are capable of here. Nice little low into the headbutt. Target combo by Luke. EX Tatsumaki finds a mark here. Ryu close to burnout, going to put himself in the grayscale.
Gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weak.
And what you guys are hearing in the background when I'm not talking is the professional commentary by Vicious, one of the Capcom hired guys. They have an in-game commentary option, so really cool if you're playing at home and want to hear somebody give the intake on your game. And right now, Ryu all over with the wake up Tatsu. Down to 8 seconds left here. It's going to come down to the wire. A DI finds a mark. 4 seconds. Ryu's got the life lead. Will he go in or run away? Aleks trying to close the ground, but not in time. Ryu's going to take round number 1.
These matches are very long for us.
Wins the first round and is now riding a huge wave of momentum. Immediately.
Oh, okay. EX on EX action, and that's the overdrive, the OD. When you see character light up yellow, that's more damage, more frames, Papa John's all across the board. Level 2 super by Ryu, who's home, not Aleks.
Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools.
Another beast mode, baby. That's level 2 Luke, and take him all the way to the corner here. And big damage on the side for Aleks here. Both characters in burnout, so not going to be able to do any more of those yellow special attacks while in the burnout mode. Luke, a little target combo action right there. Hold Ryu down. Ryu's got to find a way out of the corner. What a DP on the incoming overhead by Luke. Another one here. Back to burnout here. Yellow bars and EX Sandblast. That's the big projectile that Luke shoots out. Able to seal round number 2 of game number 2. So coming down to the wire here. Level 1 super. Nice DI. Excellent little follow-up combo. So one of the hallmarks of Luke's play is being able to kind of string together some of these big juggle attacks. Down to the wire here. Another big DI. Luke coming out on top. Nice little crouch short to jab DP combo. Looks strong. Overhead. Ryu channeling the power of nothingness with a parry, but can't hold off the DI. Oh, we're going to Memphis. Very good, very good.
So
Aleks
that
will take it.
happened.
Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, good games with these guys. A round of applause.
Yeah. That was that was kind of a handicap for me because I know how to do the modern system already, but what I don't know how to do is the classic system. So why don't we rematch and I put myself at the proper stage.
So you guys want to do one more?
We'll do this is the definitive one. Okay, so we can do one thing. We can either give you an advantage, or I can switch control schemes. What do you prefer?
Give me an advantage, man.
You want an
terrible at this.
advantage? Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna select. There should be an. Okay, and now you select Ryu. Click. Yeah. You see advantage? So hit R1. So you can set your advantage up however high you want. Okay. So go back to character though, because yeah. You can do full advantage. Turn that back to whatever control scheme. Just don't do dynamic. That's an insta kill button for me. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now Ryu is pretty much indestructible. Your health is regenerating. You got much less cooldown, and you're basically invincible.
Thank you.
So just mash as hard as you can.
Our fighters are ready to lay
All right, we've got
all the
modern Luke versus super powered up, mega awesome Ryu. Super Saiyan Ryu level 2.
Here we go.
Look
What
at
are
all the
these fighters
resources
going
Ryu
to do?
starting at all 3 bars. And that's barely taking away any of that drive gauge at the top with all that advantage. Look how much damage off that Shoryuken.
Drive impact like
Are you going to
that
stand a
is
chance
vital.
here?
They're barely hanging in there.
Alex got his work cut out for him here. Huge wall to climb.
Coming up next.
Any touch could be death.
His life lead opens up.
Nice combo target in the
Corner
corner
makes
here.
it hard to
Ooh,
escape.
little taunt
That'll be the
action.
setup. Knockdown. Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy
Down
damage.
the corner again, and all the parry let too close, too soon.
Player 1, it's a good spot. They use the super. They need to
Look at the
capitalize
damage
on
off that jump back kick. But even
That
so,
was that was very close. All you need to do is land like 3 hits on me, and then I think I'm dead.
the goal here is 3 hits from Ryu to take down this unbeatable Luke.
Nice call. Adds a little super juice
Nice
into this
confirm
combo.
into that level 1 super.
How
You're
will
following
this
along, that's the
impact
bars down there in the lower part of the screen. Here comes the big 2. Is this going to be enough? Oh, blocked in time.
Player 2 chases them down. Hits them with a stop and block.
And that DI attack, that's that drive impact, can absorb up to 3 hits before it breaks. Look at how much damage on that back throw. Ryu looking strong right now. And the jab Shoryu to finish it off.
That was a lot less than I thought it was gonna be. That took you way less than I thought.
This is the power of the hyperbolic time chamber for Ryu.
With the attack.
Yeah.
That off and keeps going. All the throw connects.
Huge DI here. Big opportunity for damage. Oh, but it doesn't get the follow through. Let's have a second shot though.
Throws them.
Big forward throw.
Amazing.
Oh, with the short U there. Lets the DI early. Kyle will take it
Is a
in
force
2.
to be reckoned with.
So,
That's legacy Ryu right there. That's 6 games of Street Fighter and crossovers with Fortnite.
all right, so good stuff to those guys. I'm going to ask a couple quick questions, and we're going to open up for the floor and let the fans kind of ask their questions as well. First off, I want to say special thanks to Kyle and Alex for holding this special interview with us here at Planet Anime. And I want to quickly say personal thank you for lending your talents to the world of Street Fighter. As a leader in this community, I've seen countless players of all ages participate in this passion called fighting games. I've witnessed firsthand the first time they were able to make Ryu shout Shoryuken or Luke send someone to Memphis, the amount of joy and confidence they get from playing fighting games. Without your guys' voices, it would simply not be the same. So on behalf of the Kansas City Fighting Game community, I want to say thank you for that. Super important. And on that note, I want to open the invite to everybody in the crowd too. If you're interested in playing fighting games, whether casually or competitively, check us out on the internet. And we have a good time. We play in person. We bring that arcade experience. Number 1 here. Alex and you guys both kind of mentioned this. You do a lot of live streaming where you're able to not only promote your own content creation, but also you have a lot of special guests as well. How has leaning in the field of live streaming helped you connect with your fans in the community?
Well, for me, I'm very lazy. So before we had the ability to go back to conventions, all I was able to do was kind of stream from my dinky laptop, and it used to be so much worse. I had a 2013 MacBook, something like that, and I would try to stream games on it, and I'd get like 2 frames a second. So back then, for me, streaming was just about chatting with fans and such. But nowadays, when we get to go back to conventions and like meet fans in real life, it's a lot
easier to connect that way. But I think streaming is still an important resource in terms of like playing games with them, talking about the process of working on the game, and like showing firsthand commentary about what it's like to be a part of a franchise. So it's definitely been a good leap for me, and it's a good exercise of my entertainment skills and also editing skills and stuff like that to try to put together something funny and enjoyable for fans.
Awesome, awesome. And Kyle, you've also mentioned, you've been the voice of Ryu since Street Fighter 4. It's a game that came out in 2008 over here in the States, and you've been the life of every Hadoken and Shoryuken from Ryu for almost 15 years. In Street Fighter 6, we see an aged up Ryu. You guys kind of saw he has like the facial hair, kind of like the more grown up kind of master-ish outfit. Did Ryu's older appearance change your approach to voicing the character?
No, I don't think so, because chronologically he's older. I'm chronologically older, so it becomes easier to kind of just use my own natural voice instead of trying to pitch him up or anything like that. So the answer lies in the heart of battle, that sort of thing. I could just kind of sit in my own pitch, as it were, and do that. And of course, the process of recording the game could take over a year sometimes. We're recording, and then a few months pass by, and then we come back, and we have some new dialogue, or maybe some new cutscenes have been animated, but we haven't seen it yet and everything. People that probably think that, oh, you record on the game so you get to play it really early on. It's like, no, we don't. We have Capcom sitting on Skype or Zoom, and then we're in a studio, and they're listening in and approving the performances and everything, and we are just literally looking at a script. And our director is telling us the context of what's going on and everything, and then hopefully by the time the game does reach the fans, and those of us on the voice acting side that are gamers, we can't wait to get our hands on the final product and see it in its true form with the sound and effects and the music and everything. That's like the really exciting thing. It's like, when's Christmas? When do I get to open this gift,
Awesome. This question is kind of for both of you. Which part of your respective characters, we're talking again about Luke for Aleks and Ryu for Kyle, do you guys identify with most? Aleks, I'll start with you.
For me, something I got lucky with is that I actually got involved with the character and how he develops very, very early on. I think Luke is the first Street Fighter character in the history of the franchise that got recorded first in English, because way back in, I think, 2019 or 2020, we did the first sessions for him. And before then, we had no Japanese backtrack, because we usually dub these games that come from Japan. But for the first time, they were like, we don't know what we want yet, and we were kind of hoping that you would know. And I'm like, me? And they were looking for an American voice. And they were looking for a very American character, as you can see from his design. He's supposed to be like, oh, that's the American guy. And I'm like, did somebody send them my headshot? So for those who don't know, I'm actually an immigrant. So I didn't move to the US until I was 10 years old. So maybe in a way, my experience of what an American is their experience, and we just happen to line up, because I'm an Asian guy who's like, Americans are like, yo, what's up, dude? And they're like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay, man. So maybe that's what happened. But I was very lucky to be involved in that process early on, and I got to influence a lot of the way he talks, how he speaks, his character. And something interesting about him is that early on, what they wanted him to be was more of like a military guy. They wanted him to be like, hoorah, hot-blooded, kind of like Guile. But I was like, well, I don't think Americans have been like that since like the 80s. I think it's much more kind of like chill, relaxed, hey, dude, bro, what's up? Yeah. So that was my approach, and the more we worked on the game, the more we kind of like moved his character toward that space, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think he's a very fun guy.
When you you mentioned you were kind of developing the character from the ground up. I saw a clip of you. One of Luke's celebrations, which sounds really kind of mainstream today, is he says, "Let's go," And that's such a huge celebration pop-off within the fighting game communities. Like when somebody does come back from that really, big life deficit, it's, you hear, let's go, get bodied. And so to hear an actual Street Fighter character say that is really awesome. So were you able to interject any more of that kind of personality into it?
Yeah, in Street Fighter 5, we actually recorded Street Fighter 6 first, but then they wanted to introduce him in 5. So they were like, can you come back in and record a younger version of him? And I was like, sure. And this was when they put out the old lines that they had written for him, and one of them was like, in Japanese, he goes like, ora, ora, ora. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of like JoJo and like all those other fighting games and stuff like that. And they were like, no, can you do something more American? And I'm like, well, I think in this case, the most American thing for me, from my experience, is that Luke is a young guy who is interested in anime and games, and he would want to say that cheesy cornball stuff when he's fighting. So I'm like, we should keep it. And they were like, I don't know. And then I was like, just let me do it once, please. And then the director was like, guys, I feel really bad for him. He's been screaming for 2 hours. Can he just do this one thing? And I'm like, thank you, thank you. And so that's how we were able to sneak that into the game. And there's a lot of other stuff that Luke says, like in the select screen where he unconfidently says, let's get it, which is not something that I say personally, but it's something I would say if I was trying to be cool. So that's kind of what it was. Because his original select animation was like, okay, let's do this. And I was like, that's all right. That's you, though. I'm like, that's your line, so I can't be stepping on your toes.
Let's do this.
Okay, so kind of, the same question back to you. Which part of your character do you kind of like identify the most, and how has kind of your personality been imparted into Ryu, or vice versa?
I mean, I know physically I don't resemble any part of him.
You got the beard. You got the beard, and you got the strong eyebrows.
Strong eyebrows. That's true. I don't have hobbit feet, but his Zen attitude. I think I'm pretty laid back and really chill, so I can relate to that. And not getting too hot-headed about things and everything. And of course, the experience has been, fantastic from, I'm 54, so I grew up when arcades were more common and home consoles were not common. So I'd go and see the Street Fighter cabinets, and I'd play a little bit. And of course, I was terrible then, too. And it's like, I never thought in a million
Who do you
years.
think would have won, 8-year-old me or 30-something-year-old you?
Dude. This guy would pwn me, man. This little kid right here. Yeah, totally. So, yeah, I never in a million years, I thought that when I was playing video games, that fast forward decades, I would actually be doing them, because the games didn't talk back then, They were just sound effects or music and basic blips and beeps and boops and all that stuff. And now we're in a day and age where they're interactive movies, pretty much. And it's so ironic that when you're watching a dubbed game from another country, we don't typically see that final animation. So we're hoping that it's going to match, and the people behind the scenes are putting it together, and we have to match maybe the Japanese audio, which they didn't have for you, but typically the Japanese audio is recorded before the English version. And if we don't have video lip sync or anything to do, we have to match the timing of the Japanese audio and kind of hope for the best. So if you played a Street Fighter game and you see the cutscenes don't really match, that's why. We didn't have the elements to do that and to be able, because we're very, very driven and it's very important to us in Western culture to lip sync it as accurately as possible. So that's been a fun time.
Now we got the technology. As of Street Fighter 6, we now have lip tech. So now we just have to match the timing. We don't have to match the flaps. And the system will automatically match the mouth movements to what we're saying, which is really cool.
Ooh.
So
Yeah,
it's
technology
much
is
easier.
an awesome thing. Yeah.
So yeah, gone are the Godzilla dub days, of the.
Hey, you.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna ask one more question. We're kind of open up to the fans here. There's a couple of fighting game community staples. I'm gonna fire off a couple of really quick either or questions, and just kind of answer the first one that comes to your mind. So, it's as tradition after you go to a big fighting game tournament. Usually, you go out to eat with everybody afterwards. So, IHOP or Waffle House?
Waffle House.
Oh, I would have to say IHOP.
I say Waffle House because we live in Los Angeles. Waffle House is not there.
Oh.
So I'm always anxious to come to a con in a city where there's a Waffle House. It's not even about the waffles for me. I just love a good greasy breakfast.
And potentially a real life street fight.
Yeah.
For me, I go to IHOP because that's the place that's open like way late, and then I can just go there. I used to go after college. I'd just be like, I'm gonna go to IHOP. Actually, my first year in Los Angeles, like you said, street fighting. My first year in Los Angeles, I was standing outside an IHOP, and like walking down the street, I see like a shadowy figure, and as he passes under a street light, it's like a man that's half covered in blood, and he's like approaching me, and my friend's standing there. He looks at me. He's like. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? What are we doing with this guy? And he just walks up to me and he says, yo, I have a cigarette? I'm like, no. And then he's like, all right, have a good day. And he turns around and walks away. And I'm like,
That just means you're the main character now.
Los Angeles.
You're the protagonist.
Los Angeles waffle.
All right, second question. Korean or American barbecue? Now, you are in Kansas City.
Oh, gosh. Can I just be Switzerland and just say both, depending on my mood and my day?
Yeah.
That's true, that's
I'll
true.
take both. Yeah.
Hey, meat is meat, man.
It's true.
And last question, Chun-Li or Cammy? Strongest woman in the world or the killer bee?
I'm a sucker for a good British accent, so I think I'm going to go with Cammy.
Okay.
Ooh. That's tough.
If Luke answers, this will be canon.
No, don't put that pressure on me. He would go, I got a phone call.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to open up to some questions from you guys, the fans. If you are interested in having a question for either Kyle or Alex, please make a line behind this microphone right up here, and we'll just kind of take your questions as they come in.
And it doesn't have to be Street Fighter related. You can
They don't
ask
have to be
us
Street Fighter related,
about
no.
our day. You can ask us what shoes we're wearing.
Yeah, it can be anything.
Anything. All right. Who's gonna ask the first question?
Nobody. Thanks
Here
for
we go,
coming,
here we go.
everybody.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Here we go.
Hello, hi, nice to meet you, Alex, Kyle. Just kind of I know you've mentioned that you've done multiple series, Fortnite, etc. Luke, I don't think so yet, but if there's any series, game, anime you would love your characters to be in, which and why?
Oh, like a Street Fighter crossover with any franchise?
Yep, any of your choice, honestly.
For me, Call of Duty.
That would be that would be really funny to see Ryu just running down with like a rifle.
Yeah.
It happens in Fortnite.
Get down!
Well, you're already in Fortnite, that's for sure. That's pretty
true.
fun.
I mean, not me personally,
That's
because
true,
he's
that's
Japanese VO. But
yeah, I don't know. Fortnite does seem fun. Any franchise, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be funny to see them in like Dragon Ball or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Not even as like main characters, they're just standing in the background at like a Waffle House or something, and then the shot cuts to a different angle.
that's right.
All right. Good question. Thank you.
Thank you both, thank you.
So this question's mainly for Alex. One of the cool things that I've really seen with your like performance with Luke is just like a lot of the stuff that happens outside of the game, especially like things you add to the kind of things you like indirectly add to the character through like a lot of the memes you voiced on Twitter, for example. How has that been also working with Capcom, but also working with that on the side?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. So what I always advise to new voice actors is do not do what I do. Because if you've seen my Twitter, I kind of take a lot of liberties with the characters themselves. And people usually think, oh, that guy's crazy. He's doing all that stuff. Is he allowed to do that? And usually the answer would be no. But I've been very fortunate to have met the people who work on the Street Fighter team. We've had many dinners and hangouts together. And the first time, actually, I met them was, I think it was in Vegas for Evo. And they came up to me and they were like, oh, nice to meet you. Our office has seen a lot of your Twitter memes. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get fired. And they were like, no, it was really funny, and we loved it. And, you know, if you have any questions for us, and of course, I'm like, is this okay, guys? Is this okay? Can I do this one? Yeah, so it's been a trial and error process, and I've talked to them a lot, and I know their sense of humor, and I know what I can and can't get away with. So it may seem like I'm unhinged on the internet, but I do toe a certain line. But thank you. That's a very cool question.
Thank you.
Controlled chaos.
Approve legal chaos.
Approved.
Hello.
Hi.
I have a question for both of you guys. What's your favorite character that you've ever voice acted? Doesn't have to be Street Fighter. Which character have you absolutely love voicing?
It's like asking for a favorite child.
You know, yeah. It's like, what's your favorite one? The next one, because we record, and then once they finished your lines, they don't need you anymore. They just toss you aside. But no, through the years, I started as a Dragon Ball fan, and then I got to audition, and I've been a part of the Dragon Ball franchise for 23 years. So Gohan is obviously very special to me. It's my first foray into voice acting professionally. I was a fan of it first, and then getting to be on something you're a fan of is kind of hard to put into words. So that one is definitely huge. Ryu's huge to me personally because I've always wanted to do animation voices for like Disney or any of the big studios, and it's like, hey, I can say I got to check that off. Even though it's a cameo, I got to say, hey, I got to be a part of it, and I love getting to see my name in the credits and like Ryu, Kyle Hebert, like, oh yes. Just hope I could do more of it because it's so much fun.
That's such a hard question for me because my career is much younger than yours, as in I've only gotten started like 5 years ago. So I personally have no idea because each and every one of these characters so far have done like a tremendous amount of work for me and what I've built up, and they've all been a really huge part of my journey. So it's really hard to just narrow it down to one. But I will tell you my favorite commercial that I've ever done, and that is because I've only done one commercial. It was for Trojan condoms. For some reason, that's the only commercial gig I've ever landed. So my guy's just like, hey, Trojan condoms, you should buy them. And then that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go.
I learned something new today.
Little factoid.
Who is this? Okay, this is the correct distance. It's nice to meet you guys, and I'm really excited to ask this question because there's a very differing age gap here. But you've been in the industry for a long time, and you said just 5 years. To both of you, if there's something you could go back and tell yourself, like one piece of advice in like your first year of voice acting, or like those first initial times, what's one piece of advice you could give yourself back then to like kickstart yourself like a little bit faster?
I'd say go back in time, kill Kyle Hebert, kill him, replace him as Ryu.
There you go. If I could go back, I would have been more passionate about like taking acting classes and stuff. I actually came from radio, and that's not a typical journey for voice actors. Usually, over the past decades, it's been about theater actors or on-camera actors, and maybe people that do different types of voiceover and everything, and networking and all that. And when you're introverted and shy to begin with, it's like, oh, I wish I came out of that bubble a little bit earlier. How much farther would the career be if I wouldn't be so afraid of networking? It's like when anyone can relate to this. If you're shy or introverted, but you're in a business where you know how important it is to meet other people in the business, because not only are they genuinely cool people to make actual friendships with, it may be a mutually beneficial thing for your career. And I wish I had taken advantage of that earlier on for me.
Well, I mean, acting classes are very expensive, and when I moved to Los Angeles, I did not have any money for them.
Yeah, it's very costly.
I don't think I would change anything, because I feel like every time I felt like I failed, or every time I was devastated by losing something, it really taught me a lot, and it kind of balanced out with what I was able to learn and gain from that experience. Like, before I got Demon Slayer, I was runner-up for a really popular legacy anime that I did not get,
and I was crushed. But then I took those failures, and then I got Demon Slayer. Or before I got Street Fighter, I was also runner-up for a character of a franchise that I really loved with a brand new game, and I lost that one completely as well. And I took everything I learned and I applied it into the next thing. So I don't think I would have changed anything, really. I feel like everything that has made me the way I am is, it's all going according to plan for now.
Yeah, I think being passionate about what you do for a living or a career path and sticking to your guns no matter what happens. Because we're in the business of being told no more than yes, in that we audition for most things and don't get hired for most things. And it's never a question of, oh, this person's good enough, air quotes. It's just you either are or aren't what the casting director has in mind. And so, yeah, you got to tell yourself, okay, this one wasn't meant to be. I'm really sad about that. I wanted to be in Batman, or I wanted to be in Star Wars. I want to be in something huge. At least I had the opportunity to read for it. So the mindset that I wish I had also from the beginning is treat the audition like the job, and then divorce yourself from it and move on with your day. Try to. We're human. Of course, you're going to wish coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I think it helps, your mental health, if you're in the business of trying and not getting anywhere. Because when you least expect it, good things happen.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our interview today with Mr. Aleks Lee and Kyle Hebert.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out, guys. My name is Robbie B. Remember, the worst thing you can do when it comes to playing a fighting game is never picking up a controller. Have a good rest of your weekend, and more awesome panels and stuff coming up here at Planet Anime.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.